BBC Radio for Schools. Radio History. The Romans in Britain, Programme 2. The Invasion and the Army. Presented by Dave Arthur.
It was 2,038 years ago that the Romans first invaded Britain, and I've come down to Dover on the Kent coast to see where they arrived. I'm looking out across the Channel towards France, and if this was August 55 BC, I might be looking at Julius Caesar's invasion fleet coming over the horizon, because he landed not far from here. He had a few little skirmishes with the local Britons, and then decided he ought to take his men back across the Channel before the autumn gales made the journey too dangerous. But he came back the following summer and defeated a large British army near London. But unfortunately, just as he was doing so well, he had to return to Gaul to put down a rebellion, and he never returned to Britain. And in fact, it was another 100 years before the Romans came back. And that was in AD 43, when the Emperor Claudius decided it would do him a bit of good politically to invade somewhere. So he sent his legions off to Britain to carry on where Caesar had left off. They marched north, south, east and west, establishing Roman rule throughout the province, and built a magnificent network of roads, the lifeline of the empire. Well, all went well for 20 years or so, until Queen Boudicca rebelled against what she saw as Roman injustices, and destroyed Colchester, St Albans and London, before being defeated by Suetonius Paulinus. Once again it was the same old story of Roman military training and tactics winning over a brave but undisciplined British army. By AD 110, things had largely settled down. The network of roads covered the country, prosperous towns and villa estates had grown up, and the wild northern tribes were kept, well, at least for a while, behind the northern frontier, and the legions were safely settled in their stone forts in places like York and Chester.
Sky, earth, road, stone, steel will cut you to the bone. Sky, earth, road, stone, steel will cut you to the bone. Sky, earth, road, stone, steel will cut you to the bone. Sky, earth, road, stone, steel will cut you to the bone. Sky, earth, road, stone, steel will cut you to the bone.
Right, in a line along here. You. Where's your family?
Rome.
Rome, sir.
Rome, sir.
You?
Milan, sir.
Turin, sir. Gaul, sir. Where in Gaul?
Carcassonne, sir. Rome, sir. Macedonia, sir.
Right. All right. Forget all that. The Legion's your family from now on. The 20th Valeria Victrix, the best in the Empire. What's the 20th?
The best in the Empire, sir.
Right. Wherever the 20th's posted, that's your home from now on. Where's your home?
With the Legion, sir.
Right. And if you learn your trade well, and if the gods smile on you, you might finish up a centurion like me with a vine cane like this to show the world you're somebody. And if you live long enough, after 25 years you can retire, and the Empire will give you your own piece of land in a nice little colony somewhere away from all the fighting. And you can spend your days watching your vegetables grow and spend your nights telling lies to your grandchildren about your heroic deeds against the man-eating barbarians. But that's a long way off yet. What is it?
A long way off, sir.
Right. We've got to turn you into soldiers first. And that means you've got to learn to march and manoeuvre like a well-oiled machine with discipline. Line up in column, 6 abreast. Move! We'll have you marching 20 miles a day in full kit before you can say Circus Maximus, before you can say...
Circus Maximus, sir.
Right! It doesn't matter how good you are at fighting if you can't march to the battle, does it? So, march!
Sky, earth, road, stone, steel will cut you to the bone. Sky, earth, road, stone, steel will cut you to the bone. Sky, earth, and the rest, the 20th Legion is the best!
So it's no good being able to march if you can't fight properly when you get there, and that's what I'm here for, to teach you to fight. Now, I don't want any heroes. A living legionnaire is more use to the Emperor than a dead hero any day. Just think of this as a job of work. Work together as a team. Trust each other and you'll be all right. You might even live to a ripe old age and retire to the new Colonia at Gloucester. Any personal heroics and you'll probably end up feeding the crows. You! What's this?
A sword, sir.
Not just any sword, lad, a Roman sword. This is a precision weapon made by the best armourers in our factories in Gaul, and it needs to be lovingly cared for. Keep it bright and sharp, and it'll save your life one day. Here, attack me with it. Come on, take it. Now, attack me.
How, sir?
How, sir? Just attack me, come on. I'm a mad African slave that's just burst into your house. Defend yourself and your poor grey-haired old mother. Shout!
Oh, me ribs! Oh, me ribs!
Now, the rest of you, did you see that? Get up, lad. Did you see how he raised his sword above his head to try to slash me? Get up, lad. And how he left his whole right side unguarded? He's lucky I only hit him with my stick. So never ever do that. Never raise your sword above your head or you'll get a spear or a knife up the armpit. Slashing and cutting might look very impressive, but it rarely kills people, and your job is to kill people. This sword was made for stabbing, so you stab. Got it? The point's the thing. Jab, jab, jab. Throat, heart, face. They won't come back for more. And you've got to learn to use the shield. This is a shield. It's made from layers of thin wood stuck together and covered with leather and metal trim. It'll keep you safe from most things that'll be thrown at you. Now, I want you to get used to working with the sword and shield together. First of all, split up into 2 groups. We've got some extra heavy wooden swords and wicker shields for you to practice with, to build up your arm and shoulder muscles. So one group pick up the swords and shields from that pile over there and take it in turns to attack the training posts. I'll be back in a minute to see how you're doing. The rest of you, come with me and I'll show you how to use the throwing spear.
Odds. Odds it is. One more win, I'll dedicate a shrine to the goddess Fortuna. Odds again.
Evens. Pay up, come on.
That's all I got. But I'll have another throw for my wine ration. And this time... Hey! This one. New recruits.
Oh, my feet. I've got blisters on my blisters. 20 miles of marching with 40 kilos of kit in 5 hours is no joke.
Oh, it's me back and shoulders what's killing me. Oh, I must have swung that sword 1,000 times at that post. Thrust, head, face, thrust, side, knee, thrust, legs, change angle, thrust, head, face, thrust, side, knee. Oh, blimey. Oh, I'm finished.
You better clean and polish your kit and then stack it in the back room.
Yes, we will later when we've had a lie down.
If you don't do it now, you'll be too tired later on. And there'll be a barley diet or extra duties if the centurion catches you in dirty armour.
Oh, all right.
I didn't realise what hard work it was in the army.
Neither did I.
Hard work? You haven't even started yet.
Running, jumping, wrestling, swimming, weapons practice and marching round a parade ground and nothing.
Just wait until you go out on a campaign or on manoeuvres up in the Welsh mountains.
And all you can look forward to after a day's uphill march in the driving rain's the prospect of digging a defensive ditch for the night.
Before sitting down to a mess of lard and corn boiled up in a camp kettle.
Then as you lie shivering in your wet cloak in a cold damp tent, you can really say, by the gods, this is hard work.
They don't give you 12 gold pieces a year for nothing, you know.
Not that you'll see much of the 12 gold pieces by the time the paymaster's deducted money for bedding, food, clothing, marching boots and the burial club.
Not that you lucky lads will have much use for the burial club. You've joined at just about the right time. We are posted here in Chester as caretakers. There's no fighting left over here now.
Nah.
So you can settle down for a bit of a holiday for the next 20 years.
Well, that's, of course, if we don't get transferred to fight on the Eastern Front. I mean, they do say the Emperor's determined to take Arabia.
I was in Rome a few years ago when he was awarded the triumph for his successful war with the Dacian king.
Oh, yeah.
After the triumph, there were 123 days of games and gladiatorial displays in the Colosseum. Over 10,000 gladiators fought in the arena, and they say that at least 11,000 animals were killed.
Yeah.
Well, the gods alone know how many gladiators will die if Trajan's victorious in the East. Unfortunately, we'll probably still be stuck out here and miss all the fun. Next to the chariot races, I do love seeing a few good pairs of gladiators.
Yes, yeah.
I remember my grandfather saying what a pity it was that Suetonius Paulinus put so many of Boudicca's men to the sword, because they would have been ideal for the arena. They could really fight, you know.
Yeah, but they had no discipline, did they?
No, true.
It was the iron discipline of our legions that paid off in the end. You two youngsters should take notice of that. Discipline, that's what you need to succeed.
What actually happened then?
Well, I'm not quite sure how it started, but it ended with Paulinus and 2 legions, the 14th and the 20th, which with a few cavalry and auxiliaries came to 15,000 men at the most, facing a British army of 70,000.
What on earth did he do?
Well, obviously with those sort of odds there's not much you can do except offer up a few prayers to Jupiter, Mars, Bellona and Fortuna and pick your battleground very, very carefully. Which is just what he did. He chose a flat valley with rolling hills to guard his flanks and a dense forest to protect the rear, and then drew his 2 legions up side by side in battle order with the cavalry guarding the wings. Now, when the Britons saw the size of our army, they thought they were in for an easy victory, and they sealed off the mouth of the valley with carts and wagons and filled them with their wives and children who had come along to see the massacre.
But that was their mistake, blocking off their line of retreat.
Yes. They came in, screaming and shouting, blowing their war horns, their chariots dashing up and down in front of the infantry, all very noisy, all very impressive, until they got within 30 yards of our front line, and then they were stopped dead in their tracks with a shower of spears. Horses went down, chariots went over, some ran back into their own infantry lines, trampling them down. It was chaos. Those that did get through met a solid wall of shields and swords. Then we started moving. Forward. Push, jab, push, jab. And gradually we pressed them back against their ox carts.
Blocked their own escape route, you see.
As they got more and more hemmed in, there was less and less room for them to use their great long swords, and they were slaughtered where they stood. There were supposed to have been 80,000 killed that day, including the women and children. I don't know how true it is.
How many did we lose?
Oh, about 400.
What?
Which room is Tertius Severus in?
This one? I'm Tertius Severus. What do you want?
Julius Martinus, the centurion of the 1st century of the 2nd cohort, wants you to report to him in his quarters as soon as possible.
Why? What have I done?
I don't know. I was just told to find you.
Well, I finished cleaning my kit, so I suppose I better get over there now.
Yeah.
If you wait a minute, you can show me the way. I'll just put these in the storeroom. Right, I'm ready. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Come in.
Tertius Severus, sir. You wanted me?
Oh, yes, lad. Yes, come in. Don't look so worried. There's nothing wrong. The fact is that I was with your father years ago in the Legion 1 Germanica stationed on the Rhine. We went through a lot together.
Yes, sir?
Well, he saved my life more than once, and now he's written to me asking me to keep an eye on you.
I'm sorry, sir.
Oh, don't be. We've all got responsibilities to friendship, but we were more than just friends. We were both initiated into the Temple of Mithras at the same time, so that makes us closer than brothers.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you want to make a success in the army, it would help you if you were in the Brotherhood as well. So what I'm going to do is to propose you for initiation. I'll help you prepare for the ceremony, and after that, it's up to you how far you take it. But it'll be a definite advantage to you in the army. You'll meet everyone that matters.
Yes, sir.
Mithras is a soldier's god.
Thank you, sir. I hope I don't let you down.
It's nothing. Get off with you now. I'll prepare you over the next few weeks. I've got to put this blindfold on you now, but don't worry. Put your trust in Mithras, and you'll be all right.
Yes.
Who stands at the outer door?
Tertius Severus, of the 20th Valeria Victrix, properly prepared in mind and body.
Who proposes Tertius Severus?
Julius Martinus, centurion of the second cohort of the 20th Valeria Victrix, courier of the sun, and initiate of the Brotherhood of the Lord of Light.
Enter, Tertius Severus.
Go on now. You're on your own, but don't worry.
Yes, sir.
And don't panic, whatever you hear. There are 7 steps down. Careful. Go on.
You are on the edge of a precipice. You are going to fall over the edge. Go back while you still got time, Tertius Severus. Go back from the edge. Die, you die, Tertius. Go back, back, back.
There's a sword at your throat, Tertius Severus. If you take one more step without being properly prepared, you will walk onto the point and die. Do you wish to continue?
Yes.
Who is your protector?
Lord of the light, God of the sun, whose chariot is drawn by white horses, and is God of truth, to whom none must lie, neither lord nor slave.
Who is the Lord of light?
Mithras, born of the rock, conqueror of the sun, slayer of the bull, from whom sprang the blood of life and all the herbs and plants useful to man.
Remove the blindfold. Now you will be baptized with water in the sign of the sun to wash away all past associations, to prepare you for rebirth with Mithras. Step forward and receive the bread and wine. Wine from the symbol from whence comes the ecstasy by which we communicate with the higher powers. And bread exposed to the rays of the sun to show that you accept Mithras as your source of food. Now repeat after me. I have eaten from the drum.
I have eaten from the drum,
And drunk from the symbol.
and drunk from the symbol,
And I have learnt the secrets of religion.
and I have learnt the secrets of religion.
By this phrase you will be recognized by brothers throughout the empire. Guard the secrets of Mithras well. Tell them to no one who is not properly prepared in body and mind. You have now passed the first grade, the grade of the crow, messenger of the sun god. Return now to the world above, but remember that as Mithras overcame the animal passions of the bull, so must you, by prayer to Mithras, overcome your physical being and discipline your mind and body to give you the power over yourself and others.
Steel will cut you to the bone. Sky, earth, road, stone. Steel will cut you to the bone. Sky, earth, road, stone. Steel will cut you to the bone. Sky, earth, road, stone. Steel will cut you to the bone.
That was Programme 2 in the radio history series, The Romans in Britain. It was written and presented by Dave Arthur. You also heard Joe Dunlop, Edward Kelsey, Tim Munro, Kenneth Shanley, Peter Tuddenham and Brett Usher. The incidental music was composed, arranged and performed by Christopher Ball, with accompaniment from Dave and Tony Arthur. The producer was Peter Hall.